he perhaps. Oh, I don't know whether he can. Okay, thank you. Okay, where is he? Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Yes. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Yamunatira Vanuchari. Yamunatira Vanuchari. Yamunatira Vanuchari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavallabha Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Shri Radha Madhava Sakhi Vrinda ki Jai. Radha Madan Mohan Ji ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay, so we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, this is the verse, okay. So I'll be discussing 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And as we discuss this chapter, I will also tell you how does Prabhupada comment on it. And why actually Bhagavad Gita is Bhagavad Gita as it is. What's the speciality about this chapter and Bhagavad Gita overall? Can you give me Bhagavad Gita, anybody? I just want a copy. Probably you can sit at the back on the bench. Okay, so thank you. So this is 9th chapter. And we are, yeah. So let's do something, not a monologue, but a dialogue. That's a good idea. I like that. Okay, so here we are. Let's chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshayami anasuyave jnana vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase shubhat. Anybody will read? Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshayami anasuyave jnana vijnana sahitam
yajñatva mokshase shubhat.
yajñatva mokshase shubhat. I'll speak.
Idam tu te guyatamam
Guhyatamam
pravaksyami anusuyave.
Anusuyave? Anasuyave. See that properly?
Anasuyave. Gnanam vijnana sahitam
Jnana vijnana sahitam
yajgnatva moksyase subhat.
yajñatva mokshase shubhat. Also read that.
Shri Bhagavan idam te tu guhyatamam pravakshyamyanasuyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshase subhat.
Okay. You want to chant? Okay. Okay. Chant, yeah.
Idam tu te guhyatamam
Idam tu te guhyatamam
pravakshyami anusuyave
pravakshayami anasuyave
jnana vijnana sahitam
jnanam vijnana sahitam
yajñatva mokshaye shubhat.
Mokshase shubhat. Okay. There are some mistakes, but on the whole, that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to discuss this 9th chapter. And why I took this 9th chapter? Because this, because this is the most confidential knowledge. And if you understand this chapter, you understand Bhagavad Gita. But you also understand how does Prabhupada comment on these verses and gives very important insights to this chapter and each and every word and each and every verse, because we know that Prabhupada books are perfect, and how they are perfect I'm going to show. And along with that, you will also understand what's happening in 9th chapter. So, can you show that verse? That's all. Sanskrit verse, yeah. So this chapter, the name is Most Confidential Knowledge. The point is, why this is most confidential knowledge. That's the idea. Why the name is like that? Because here in this verse it comes, idam tu te guhyatamam. Now guhya means secret and tamam means most. Most confidential knowledge. So, why this chapter is most confidential, first of all? Now, Prabhupada explains in the purport why this is. Because Prabhupada says in the second chapter and third chapter, Krishna talks about soul. So that's confidential knowledge. Knowledge of soul. And then he talks about knowledge of God in fourth, fifth chapters. But then now that is more confidential knowledge. But now he's talking about most confidential knowledge. That is service. How does soul serve God? That is most confidential. Because that, to understand that, that's very difficult. Many scholars in this world, they know what is spirit soul. And they understand, okay, there's a God. But to serve Him, that's not always there. Many people say you can merge with Him, not serve. Or many people say that you are God. Mayavadis. So Prabhupada says it's very difficult to understand that there are actions of soul even in spiritual world. And that has to be revealed. That is revealed knowledge. You can't understand by logic. The existence of soul you can understand, you can not understand, but you can indicate the existence of soul by logic. And existence of God can also be understood to a certain extent by logic and by scriptures. But to understand what is service, that has to be revealed to you. Okay, that means, okay, fine, I can understand who am I by applying my intelligence, is it? I can understand who are you to a certain extent by applying my knowledge, understanding. But if suppose you ask me, suppose I have to know what can I do for you, that I have to ask you. It's not logical. I can't understand by any logic what can I do for you. I have to simply ask you, what can I do for you? So you have to tell me. You have to reveal your heart to me. And then I can know. No amount of meditation, contemplation can lead me to understand what can I do for you. So that is called revelation. Revelation. It is revealed, and that is revealed in scriptures. And that is why it is most confidential knowledge. That is why jnanis, by the logic, and fruitive workers, by the actions, by the efforts, they can never come to understand how do we serve Krishna. It has to be told. And that is the point here. Service means devotion. Is it? That means devotion. So, this chapter is talking about devotion. There's God, devotee, and devotion. So, Krishna talks about devotee or soul. Krishna talks about devotee and soul in first few chapters. Krishna talks about God in 7th and 8th chapter. And 9th chapter now he's talking about devotion. And devotion is most confidential. So Krishna takes an opportunity to actually glorify his own devotion in this chapter. He is so happy. Prabhupada says in one of his purports that Krishna feels embarrassed. So Krishna feels shameful and embarrassed to speak Bhagavad Gita. His nature is gentle. See, if you ask Krishna, okay, if I ask you who is Krishna, how do you define God? How do you define God? Okay, what do you say? Huh? Okay, how do you define God? Okay, fine. Most of you will say cause of all causes, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, supreme creator, generator, operator, destroyer, like that. Okay? merciful. But if you ask Krishna, can you define yourself? What is going to tell you? Huh? So if you ask Krishna, who are you? Who is God? Krishna, can you define God? Who are you? So then, of course, he can say, I am God, I am creator. But you know what he'll tell you? He'll tell you, see, the point is, people call me as creator, as generator, as operator, as destroyer, as omniscient, omnipotent, and I am, indeed. But if you ask me from my heart, I'm not interested in all these things. That's what Krishna will tell you. I am more interested to be called as lover of my devotees, as servant of my devotees. That is God. So, and that happened in Krishna Leela. When Indra came and he was offering obeisance, prayers. See, Krishna, you are this. Krishna was thinking, I'm getting bored of, I have to go and play with my devotees. He was thinking that. He didn't really, okay, that's okay, I'm controller, this, fine, So when you define God, you can define him in two ways. One is through power, one is through sweetness. And yesterday I was talking about that. Govardhan pastime is actually this. Power is above, sweetness is below. Govardhan, Indra, power. And below that, all sweetness, no? So, whom Krishna was interested? In devotees. He was just holding Govardhan and things were happening itself. He was not actually actively participating in actually defeating Indra. Indra was doing whatever he does, but Krishna didn't care, let him do. Is it? So that is Upanishads and Vedas. They describe God through the aspect of power. But Bhagavatam, and in fact our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, they describe God with sweetness. Upanishads give some kind of hint about sweetness of God by saying Raso Vaisaha, Rasam Hayavayam Lavdhanandi Bhavati. And that is unique of Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. Islamic tradition, Judaism, Christianity, they call God with power, Almighty Father, God and this and that. But yes, Chaitanya Prabhu said that is okay. But the real definition of God only can be defined by sweetness, that's all. And that Krishna will be talking about in this chapter. That is why this is most confidential knowledge. Who am I actually? Who am I? Understand me. So although this chapter is talking about devotion, he also has to describe about himself properly. Is it? Because if you don't understand him, then you don't have devotion for him. That love, devotion. You are not inspired to really serve him spontaneously if you don't understand how sweet he is. So what do you... So that's why now here Krishna says, Idam tude guhyatamam. Guhyatamam means most confidential. Guhyatamam. Guhya means secret. Tamam means most secret. Prabhupada explains like that. Pravakshyami nusuyave. Now Krishna says Pravakshyami means I will speak. Pravaksh means speak. Pravakshyami means I. And Prabhupada, anyway, I'll come to that. Prabhupada says that this is very important to understand when Krishna says, Pravakshami, I am speaking. And this means Krishna is saying, give attention. That's what Prabhupada gives his point here in the first purport. So you can go and read about that, but Prabhupada comments in the commentary, because I am speaking, so give attention. I am speaking. You can't afford to not give attention. And that's the point when we chant. We can't afford to not be attentive while chanting. People say, how can I be attentive while chanting? We say, can you afford it? To not be attentive? Because there is Krishna. So, and Anusuyave, then Krishna speaks Anusuyave. I am speaking to you because you are non-envious. Anusuyave means, this is not Anusuyave, this is Anasuyave. This is not Anusuyave. It is not, that was a wife of Anusuya was the wife of? Yeah, Atri Rishi. So he says, Anasuyave, I am telling you because you are non-envious. And Prabhupada says here that this confidential knowledge is for devotees of Lord. Because only they can understand the sweetness aspect of God. Jnanis, scholars, philosophers who say God is the creator, all-powerful, just saying this is actually, they have enviousness in their heart. Is it? Like Prime Minister, we can say, he's all-powerful, he's great, and that, and that, and that. But then the next thought is, I want to become Prime Minister. See, that's the point. So that is, power can bring enviousness. But sweetness dissolves enviousness. Is it? You don't say, she is my lover, she's so nice, so sweet, I want to become her. No, like, I love her. I want to surrender to her. That's the point it comes, no? Is it? So, that is why Krishna is saying, I'm explaining you all these things, the intricate, my nature, how I am hard as a thunderbolt, how I am soft as a rose. How people think I am so powerful, so great, but actually, if you look inside my heart, I am shy. Krishna is shy. If you look inside my heart, I am very humble. I am gentle. That nature of Krishna attracts his devotee. That's why Krishna says, Anusuya. So Krishna says, Arjuna, you are Anusuya, you are non-envious, so I am telling you all these secrets. What's happening there? You have to. That verse has gone down. Please have a look. No. You have to go on one verse, but it became like that. Yeah, now it's okay. So now Krishna says, what I am going to tell you? Jnana vijnana sahitam. I am going to tell you knowledge, and Prabhupada says, and vijnana means realization. Prabhupada comments very nicely. Prabhupada says in the chapter, devotees are constantly engaged in Lord's service, and the Lord understands the mentality and the sincerity of a particular living entity who is engaged in the Krishna consciousness. So Krishna is actually interested in not really your knowledge, jnana, but vijnana. Vijnana means your sincerity and your mentality. That's what he's interested. So many of you are listening to me, but with what mentality you are listening, that will count. It's not just pure action. So some are listening with concentration, some are listening to understand, some are listening simply as inquisitive what's happening around. Is it? Some are trying to understand, some can understand. So that sincere, Prabhupada uses his two words. And Krishna actually, realization means mentality and sincerity. Two things. And mentality and sincerity, what's the difference? Mentality means your attitude to the whole approach, your approach to the problem, to the knowledge. And sincerity means perseverance, determination. How you apply that in your life, how much you can apply, how long you can apply. That's sincerity. And it's interesting, Krishna says, Jnana vijnana sahitam. I am giving you knowledge and I am also giving you the power to apply that knowledge. So Krishna is so merciful. You see, right in Bhagavad Gita, every verse you read, what we are doing, Krishna by speaking, he is introducing himself. That's all. It's said in English, no? First impression is last impression. It's like that, no? A fool is not known unless he opens his mouth. So as Krishna is speaking, he is revealing his qualities to us. And that's another thing you can do with Gita. You read his speech and then you try to understand who is he. So all these linguists, they do that, no? They read a document and they hear the speech and then they try to figure out what this personality might be. He's like fanatic or he's down to earth, by speech you can know of a person. So when Krishna is saying, I am giving you jnana vijnana, Krishna is saying, I am giving you knowledge, I am also giving you the power to apply this knowledge. So he's so merciful. He's giving you milk and then you say, I don't have a glass. He says, okay, take glass also. And he doesn't say, go and bring your glass. At least I'm giving you the milk, No, जैसे लंगर में नहीं होता in India. Langar, na? They give glass and the milk and then they give everything. Okay, come and in our temple also. You come here, sit. You need prasad, okay. I don't have a plate, take a plate. I don't have a spoon, take a spoon. I don't have a seat, take a seat. And that's so Krishna will do everything for us. Everything. He's ready to do everything. He's saying, I'll do everything for you. You simply have to follow me. That's what Krishna says. And some things you understand after following. Some things you understand after following. Sometimes you understand and you're still not able to follow. That also happens, no? It happens like that. So everything should not be understood first. That might be a problem also. If you try to understand what is swimming, you will never be able to swim. Somebody throws you in the water and you try to figure out, which hand should go back, which hand should go forward. You will never be able to understand. And in fact, they say, if a long tennis player, if he becomes conscious what he's doing, he can't play long tennis. Because the ball is coming at so speed, that goes with reflex. If he just thinks, okay, where my hand is going, what should I do? He can't play. You ask any long tennis champion, they'll not be able to do that. And there's a research done on this, and they say it mostly goes with reflex. So some things you don't understand, you follow and then understand. So Krishna says, okay, fine, I am giving you knowledge. You might understand, you might not understand everything. But then I am giving you Vigyan. I am giving you the power to apply this. You apply this and see for yourself. What's the problem? Prabhupada used to say, no? What's the problem? Prabhupada used to say. That's interesting actually, Prabhupada used to say, what's the problem? What's the problem? Okay, chant and see what will do for you. Simple, what's the problem? So that's why Krishna is means and ends both. This is the understanding. Jnana Vijnana Setam. If you read Prabhupada's purport, you will understand. Go and have a look in that afterwards. So he's a means and he's a ends. He will lift you up and carry you in his lap. Like father, mother. So they carry the child in their lap and they walk. Is it? The child doesn't have to walk. Similarly, Krishna is like that. We don't have to walk, he'll carry us. Provided if we want to be carried by him, that's another thing. If parents lift up the child and child is, no, sometimes, So you have to leave him, okay, just get down. So like that. So Krishna says, that is why Krishna says that you should have eagerness to be with me. That's all I want. You should have the will to be carried by me. And that's why Krishna says, Yaj gyatva moksha se ashubhat. So you see, Krishna says, by knowing this, moksha se means freed, ashubhat means inauspiciousness. You'll be freed of all inauspiciousness. And what is the biggest inauspiciousness in us? First of all, are we inauspicious? That's one thing. Most of us do not think we are inauspicious. We think we are good, we are gentlemen, we are nice, we are auspicious. But when you are in light, then you can understand what is darkness. So what is the most inauspicious thing in us?
Not being Krishna conscious.
Huh?
Not being Krishna conscious.
No, that's a general answer. That's the answer for all questions. Is it? So Prabhupada says here, Prabhupada says enviousness. That is why he says anasuyave. Anasuyave means non-envious. Enviousness. Enviousness means that Krishna, you look very beautiful, you're so nice, but don't interfere in my life. That's enviousness. That is enviousness. I don't want you to direct my life. I don't want you to interfere in my life. I'm doing whatever I want. I'll come to temple, I'll pay obeisances, I'll praise you. But as far as interference, no. That's enviousness, no? So most of the people, they have this, hey Damodar, sit. So most of us, Krishna says, most of who are non-devotees, who don't understand devotion, they're envious. Why? Because they accept God, but they don't accept His instructions. And that's a symptom of enviousness, no? Accepting instructions means accepting control. Is it? So you go to a company and you talk to boss, you appreciate that company, very nice, and then when company says, these are my terms, and you have to work like this, they say, no, we can't. So that's the point. So then it means you don't like the company, no? You don't like its terms, and okay, fine, I have to do whatever I want. That is ashubhat. You don't want to actually follow his instructions. We appreciate him, but not his instructions. We want to possess him, but don't want to possess his instructions and his control. So that is why you see when we tell most of the people, Krishna is God, he's nice, people say, yeah. But when we say you have to chant Hare Krishna and follow some kind of rules, then they say, no, this we can't do. And that is the most inauspicious thing we can do. Krishna says, if you can simply follow my instructions, everything else I'll do. Everything else I'll do. Whatever I'm saying, just do it. Even if you don't understand. Many things we can't understand, no? And that is another inauspiciousness. We think we can understand everything. We presume we can understand everything. Actually, we presume we have understood everything. That's our problem. That's human. As humans, we have a disease of assumption. And that's if you can understand this, 99% problems of this world will get solved. Assumption. We assume that I am this body. Is it? That assumption, no. You never questioned yourself. Who am I? Maybe I am something else. But we are assuming till death I am this. And we are assuming that the purpose of my life is to earn money and set my career. That's your assumption. You never question. But philosophers are not like that. They question. Actually, the first question which will open the doors of spirituality or liberation is this question, that are my assumptions correct or not? If you can't ask this question, you don't advance. You don't advance. Because as soon as you ask this question, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm assuming, maybe it is wrong. Then you search for help. Okay, is there any guide? Is there any guidance? And that is the symptom of enviousness, is assumption. We don't want to ask anybody, no. We don't want to ask, especially in this modern age when everybody is thinking he's Superman, I am this, I am that, no. We don't want to really ask. The culture of asking guidance is over. Is it? Even if we take guidance, we take what we feel it is good, and what we feel it is bad, we leave it. No, it's our feeling that happens. No, it doesn't click to me. No, it's like that. They said I was talking to a girl, and we went to a program there. So that girl was telling, yeah, you are correct, but this thing I don't feel it is right. So then I told, okay, fine, but how do you know that your feeling is correct? That's one thing. You don't feel, but then what's the value of your feeling? You have to ask yourself, what value you give to your feeling? Is it? So Krishna says, Ashubha, this kind of assumption, this enviousness, it will go off. And then we are open to Krishna's message. Okay, yes, Krishna's message. Especially the message of devotion. Especially the message of understanding God. Oh, He is so big, but nevertheless, He has become the child of Yashoda. And that kind of understanding, it's difficult to grasp that, no? Well, because if you go to Christianity and Islamic religion, they will say, come on, this is nonsense. They don't accept deities, no? And if you tell them God as Father, they will say, come on, you are crazy. They will not understand anything. They can't even make heads and tails out of it. But we have this knowledge, it is revealed to us. And now Krishna begins in the next verse. He talks about his devotion. Now he says, okay, fine. I am telling you this topic because you are non-envious, you like to hear to me, you are eager to accept what I say, so I'll explain you, okay. So second verse, Krishna says, no, I'll go fast and you have to keep a track what I am saying, because otherwise I don't finish the chapter, okay. So Krishna says, you can repeat with me, Raj Vidya Rajaguyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratakshaavagamam Dharmayam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. So Krishna says, Krishna in this verse is glorifying his own devotion, his service, and Prabhupada says in the purport, what is, if somebody asks what is devotion, then you have to quote this verse. Okay, so what's that devotion? Raj Vidya. Raj Vidya means the Raja. Raj means king, Vidya means knowledge. It is a king of all knowledge. Why does he call devotion as king of all knowledge? Because if you read all Vedas, the essence of all Vedas is in Vedanta Sutra. And if you read all Vedanta Sutra, the essence of Vedanta Sutra is in Bhagavatam. And if you take the essence of Bhagavatam, that's devotion. So it's king of all devotion. You read, Prabhupada says, you can read all philosophies, all doctrines, all philosophers. Ultimately, you will reach to this conclusion that having devotion to God, that's the ultimate aim of life. Yes. Prabhupada says that. And all philosophers, Gautam, Kanath, Kapil, Yagyavalkya, Shandilya, Vaishwanar, Prabhupada quotes, all of them says, okay, without devotion, everything is useless. So without devotion, any pious activity is useless. Just like without kingdom is useless. So the idea is without devotion, whatever charity you do, it's useless. Without devotion, all good activities you do, it's useless. Without devotion, all good qualities you have, everything is useless. Just like without kingdom is useless. That is why devotion is called Raj Vidya. And then Raj Guyam, then Krishna says, yes, it is king of all education, but it is the king of all secrets. It is hidden. It is hidden. It's very important, nevertheless very secretive. And that is why Krishna says it is open secret. It is there, but it's open secret. People will know, some people, there's one verse there in second chapter, Ascharyavat Kaschati Enam. You know that verse? Ascharyavat Shinoti Tathaiva Chanya. That some people hear it and they're surprised. Some people see it and they're surprised. Some people hear it and they cannot hear. They cannot understand. Some people, even after hearing, they cannot understand anything and accept anything. And that is devotion. People see, people hear, especially as Indians, this is devotion. Okay, so people hear, people understand, but still people cannot follow. That's the idea. That is why it is open secret. If it is there and not there. Just like for example, cigarette packet, it is written, smoking is injurious to health. So it is written, but people cannot see that. Still people smoke. So it is an open, what can we say? It is an open secret, yeah. Smoking causes cancer. It's an open secret, no? Smoking causes cancer. Everybody knows, but still advertisement people know that. You know, there was a brother of Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, no, psychologist, father of psychology. His brother was Edward Burney, America. Whatever you see in America, advertisement, he was a person behind it. He brought this concept of advertisement. And he said, his funda was that you can advertise anything. You can advertise, you eat stool, and people will start eating stool. He understood That's psychology of people. People are fools. They'll believe what you project. And when this smoking, when people used to smoke, and then there was awareness smoking causes cancer. So all these people did case on smoking companies. You have to print smoking causes cancer. How can you? So then all companies, they were like in a lot of anxiety. If we print smoking causes cancer, nobody is going to buy our product. And it's done, finished. And then they approached this guy, and he said, no problem, just print it. Nobody is going to see it. Because you can see only that thing, what you're looking for. You see what you look for. If you are not looking for that, you will not be able to see it. Is it? And that happened, they printed. Even in India, there is a sign of danger, no? Khopadi hoti hai. Still people can't see it because they don't want to see it. And that's the idea. That's why Krishna says it Rajguyam. Without devotees, you will not want to see it. You can see, but you will not want to see it. So you will not be able to see it. So that is Rajguyam. The understanding in this is you need association of devotees. You need the association of devotees. What devotees do? Devotees will give you the eagerness to see the truth. And then we will see it. Just like you have seen that hologram? Oh, sorry, that. Bachpan mein wo nahi hota tha, like, there's a picture but you can't see properly. And when you move it like this, then you see. Is it like that? And there are some pictures, if you see properly, then you can, suppose, there's some pictures like old woman and old woman and young woman in the same picture. Some people can see old woman, some people can see young woman. You know this picture, no? So then they say, focus properly, focus nicely, and then you see focus, there's a young woman, and you start seeing, and suddenly you see, now I can see old woman, a young woman. No, it's like that, no? Or sometimes there's a picture and they say, okay, there are just dots there, and they say that there is a bunny rabbit there. And you say it's dots. They say, okay, look carefully, and then you're looking, oh yeah, now I can see bunny rabbit, no? It's like that. So if you want to see, there's a bunny rabbit. If you don't want to see, it's all dots. So if you want to see God, He's there. If you don't want to see, you can never see Him. That's why Quran, it says that it begins with this, one of the surah, right in the beginning. It says, God or Allah, God, even in fact it comes in Rig Veda, God has given the evidence of His existence to man at every moment. But man is so involved and so busy and so fool that he doesn't care to look at it. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Very nice point, Prabhu. I was just wondering, why some people want to see it and some don't want to see it? How that thing comes
Some want to see, some don't want to see. That people who don't have good association, they don't want to see. So people who have association. Nobody wants to see God in this world. That's why we are here.
So I was wondering, is it because life after life you keep on collecting like good karmas and finally
No, it's not good karma, it's association of devotees. That's all. Just like in India, so many of you are in America. Why you're in America? You might have met some friend, America is nice, You should do there, you get dollars and you come here. If you would not have got some friend, and then you would not end up here, no? If your friends back in India would have told, no, America is bad, stay here, Not, there's a problem. You would have stayed here, no? So that's all association. Nothing happens. That is why Krishna says, always respect my devotees. Because of devotees you are here. Because you can have knowledge, you can have everything, but that the eagerness to actually understand that knowledge, to see that is given by devotees. Look carefully. They will say, look carefully within the dots. And then you can see, oh, there is God. Otherwise, it doesn't happen like that. So that is why it is Rajguyam. And Prabhupada explains, without association of devotees, it can't be unlocked. That's one meaning. And then what is devotion? Pavitram. Pavitram means, Pavitra? What that means? Pure, but what is the meaning of pure? Pure. Yeah, what? Yeah, but that's what I understand, not contaminating. No, yeah, but Prabhupada says here, Pavitram. Pavitram Prabhupada says that free, free from all sinful tendencies. Yeah. So Pavitram means free from all unwanted things. Pavitram means free from all those things which do not add any value to your life, in body, in mind, and in words. So devotion is so pure that your life becomes pure. Pure means all your things, unwanted things at the level of body, at the level of mind, ideas, at the level of body actions, at the level of words, your talks, everything is over. And you're simply focused on God. That's the meaning of purity. Generally people think, Indian understanding of purity is, yes, I am pure, I am nice. Is it like that? Some kind of abstract understanding of purity? But that's not what Krishna is talking about here. Krishna is talking about tendencies, wrong tendencies. Tendencies to avoid God. Tendency to do those things which add no value to your life. Like for example, I was telling yesterday, now you might think I am very pure, I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, okay. I am fully vegetarian, like Jains. So they think, okay, I am very pure, but no. And I can prove that you are not pure. If anybody is actually wasting time on Facebook, he is not pure. That's all. He's interested in nonsense ideas. At the level of mind, is impure. That's impurity. That is just like you put dustbin in dustbin. You made yourself dustbin, so that is impure. If you have the tendency to look nonsense things, to hear nonsense, to speak nonsense, you are impure. And that kind of impurity Krishna is talking. Devotion makes you so pure, you are not interested in all those things. Absolutely not. It's like trash for you. And that is, devotion is not working externally, it's working right externally, internally, right through your soul. So devotion is called a universal solvent, universal acid. It dissolves all unwanted desires and tendencies in your heart. I don't want this, that's all, finish. It adds no value to my life. That is pavitra. Pavitra. That's a beautiful, this term is used in scriptures. Karmana manasa girim, that is called. So, and uttamam means beyond, tam means darkness, ut means beyond darkness. Devotion will take you beyond darkness. And that means devotion will take you beyond modes of material nature. Mode of passion, goodness and ignorance. Light in this material world is also darkness. That's what Rigved says. We think this is light, but this is darkness. Because this light helps us to do wrong things. So this light is leading us to darkness. So this is darkness, that's all. No, that's what Las Vegas is all about, no? So much lightning, glamour and that. And what is happening? Gambling, drinking wine, prostitution. That is electricity all about, no? Is it? Most 90% of internet is pornography. 90%. It's coming from America. So light has brought darkness. It's done is darkness. That's all. So that is why Krishna says, even good in this material world is bad. That is bad. Mode of goodness is also tamaha. It is darkness, because without God, nothing can be good. It will ultimately lead to bad. But with Krishna, even bad becomes good. That is God. So Krishna says uttamam. Uttamam means you will cross darkness, and this includes mode of goodness. This is not just mode of ignorance. You will cross laziness, sleep, mode of ignorance. You will cross your desires for matter, desires for flesh, and you will cross the desire to become good. So we don't want to become good, we don't want to become bad. We want to become servants of Krishna. And there's a beautiful verse by Rupa Goswami. He says, let jnanis go for liberation. All respects to them. Let karmkandi, let fruitive workers go for heavenly planets. All respect to them. Let people who do devotion to Krishna, let them do. As far as I am concerned, Pad Tranam Hari, I want to become the servant of the slippers of devotees of Lord. That is my desire. That is called Uttamam. Uttamam means transcending all those conceptions which are devoid of God. And Krishna is Son. So all these conceptions of liberation, of being good, of being bad also, everything is useless. So Uttama means you cross all your misconceptions. That is the idea. You have no doubts. You cross all doubts. You go beyond all doubts. All doubts are solved. Everything is solved. Nothing. You have full conviction. Simply by chanting holy names, everything can be achieved. Now some people say, okay, we are chanting holy name, but also we do some meditation to calm our mind. Some devotees, but no, we are not interested in anything. That is Uttamam. And then Pratyakshavagamam. Devotion leads to Pratyakshavagamam. Devotion leads to Pratyakshavagamam. Pratyaksh means to see. To see, that's Pratyaksh. So why Krishna says to see? Krishna says devotion will lead you to see me face to face. That's the power of devotion. Pratyaksh, it is not Anuman. It is not Shabda. Now you can understand. So Pratyaksh is the highest means of knowledge. Of course we say Pratyaksh, Anuman, Shabd. We say no. Three means of taking knowledge. Pratyaksh, Anuman, Shabd. Seeing, logic and hearing. Prabhupada says hearing is authority, no? But then, whatever is the lowest here, it's the highest there, no? Krishna says. So then again you become by hearing, you hear scriptures, then you apply logic within scriptures, and then you see the truth face to face. So Krishna says, I'll lead you to Pratyaksh. It will no longer be that I have heard that holy name is God itself. You can see for yourself. It will no longer be that I have heard that super soul in my heart. You can close your eyes and see me. Pratyaksha. And Pratyaksha also means Prati Aksha. Aksha means what? Eyes. Prati means each. Aksha also means senses. It's not just eyes, it is senses. By which you see. See means perceive. So you perceive data from ears also. All senses. Prati Aksha Aksha. Krishna says, Pratyakshava agamam, if you take this word together, avagamam, gamam means to go, avagamam means to come. So Krishna says, if you do my devotion, prati aksha aksha, all senses, in all senses, something will come. And what will come? Dharmayam. All senses will be illuminated by dharmayam. Dharmayam means principles of religion, knowledge. If you do my devotion, you will get all knowledge yourself. Automatically you'll start understanding everything. Simply if you chant and understand Gita and be with Krishna, reality will reveal herself to you. You will start understanding just by seeing it. And that is actually Srimad Bhagavatam, Dattatreya. No, 24 gurus. He could see. Just by power of devotion, okay, sky is teaching me. So what sky is teaching you? We look at sky, okay. We don't even look at sky nowadays. If you look at sky, what sky is teaching you? What was his teaching? He could understand just by seeing. He said, sky is teaching me that this is how the mind of Paramahamsa should be. If you see sky, no spot, absolutely clear. You can't find even a single dirt in sky, if it's clean sky, no? And that, he says, sky is teaching me, this should be a mind of pure devotee. No imperfection, no dirt, no lust, no greed, no trace of lust and greed. And when he looked at water, he learned, this is how a devotee's attitude should be, you know? And what he learned from water? Divinity. And what else? Oh, that's okay. So, the number one thing he learned from water, that's one thing. The number one thing he learned from water is, water starts from up and goes. That's his nature, to go down. That's what he learned. That's the nature of devotee. A person connected to God, he always comes down. He doesn't stay up, automatically. Humbleness. He learned humbleness from water. And then he learned from air, fire, water, birds, everything, 24 gurus. How it can happen? Pratyakshavagamam dharmayam. You don't have to read religious scriptures to understand religion. If you do devotion, automatically this sense will come. That sense will come, and you'll be able to learn from everything. Everything will become your guru. That's pratyakshavagamam dharmayam. So Krishna says dharmayam. Dharmayam means full of dharma. No, Krishnmayam. You say Krishnmay? Krishnmayi Radha. You say that? And Radhamayi Krishna. Nimbark Sampradaya. That's. So Krishna is Radhamayi. Krishna is always thinking of Radha. And Krishnamayi Radha. Radha is always thinking of Krishna. So Dharmayam means that if you do devotion, automatically your mind will start thinking of dharma. You are not just reading it, now you like it. You like following dharma. That liking is there in dharmayam, that concept. Because many people, they read religious principles, no? Like if you go to Banaras, Kashi, everybody knows dharma, scriptures and all these things, but they don't like it. They like money. So Krishna says, you'll develop a liking for dharma, true dharma. And this verse, if you understand, then you can understand that word, Sar Dharman Paritajya. Krishna says abandon all dharma, but here he says dharmayam. And what do you mean by that? So Prabhupada comments there, by the way, abandon all your speculated religion. Prabhupada comments, not true religion. It's not we have to abandon all religious principles. We have to follow, Krishna says, but abandon all your speculated religion. Just like America, it's a speculated laws. Abandon all speculated laws. And then what is devotion? Susukham. Why Krishna says Susukham? Devotion is so happily performed. Blissfully, no? Why he says like that? Yeah, why I'm asking this question? Because in comparison to other processes, it is easy, no? If you go to cave, do meditation, it's very difficult, no? Fasting, meditation, nobody can do. So he says Susukham. I am asking you this, Susukham, because sometimes it is happy, but sometimes it is difficult also. If you chant, sometimes it's a burden, no? Your mind revolts. It's not always Susukham. Sometimes it's frustrating, but you have to carry on. Sometimes it's depressing, but you have to carry on. Sometimes it's burden. You don't find any interest, but still you're carrying on. But then Krishna says, Susukham. Why he says like that? Most enjoyable. Because there's a trick in this. Krishna says it is most enjoyable because it is easy. Not because that always you will feel bliss. That's not his promise. Not now, at least in practice stage. If you become perfect, that's a promise. But unless you don't become perfect, you might face frustration, depression, revolt from your mind, and then you say Krishna is wrong. He says Susukham, Krishna says no. Even in the stage of practice, it is full of happiness. Why? Because it is very easy. If you keep on doing, again your mind will get fixed. Because it is easy, you can practice. In meditation, you can't, if you do meditation, and if your mind is not fixed, you fall down immediately. You're gone. So Susukha means it is easy. That is why it appears full of happiness. Because it is easy, it appears full of happiness. And because those processes are difficult, it doesn't appear as full of happiness. In practice stage. In perfect, anyway, it is full of happiness. No problem. So, it is very easy. Kartum avyayam. And devotion is always practice. Avyayam means always. You can always practice devotion, whether in this word, whether in this body, or in spiritual word, or in spiritual body. It never stops. And that is, if somebody asks what is bhakti, quote this verse. Quote this verse. So bhakti has Rajvidya, Rajguyam, Pavitram, Uttamam, Pratyaksha, Vagamam, Dharmayam, Susukham, Kartum Avyam. 8 characteristics. 8 symptoms. And this is so nice. So Krishna is glorifying his devotion. No? Kartum means to do. To do it is full of happiness. And avyayam means you will always be doing. Apratiyata. So that is so nice. And then Krishna directly comes to text 3 and he says, well, in spite of so much nice things about this devotion, still many people do not do devotion, no? Is it? So you might ask, so many glories of devotion, so nice, so happy, so easy, bliss, religion. Then why so many people are not doing? Are they crazy? Krishna answers this question. So one technique to read Bhagavad Gita is, you read Bhagavad Gita and in every verse you try to find one quality of God. Another technique is, you read the verse and you try to find what question Krishna is trying to answer. Yeah, this is a verse I need, that's all. So that's another technique, okay. So, okay, fine, let me ask you a question. In the last verse, what is the quality of Krishna, what is revealed? In the first verse, Krishna revealed this quality of? I just told you. Idam tute guyatam pravakshyami. Is mercy. Yeah, I'm revealing you this, no? I'm giving you jnana and vijnana all together. Sweetness will come afterwards. In the second verse, Raj Vidya Raj Guyam, what qualities he is revealing? Oh, his quality. No, his quality. What quality of Krishna is revealed? So what quality is revealed of Krishna? That's my question. Is a guru? What qualities Krishna is revealing in this verse? What is the quality of Krishna? वो तो किसी से कुछ भी कनेक्ट कर लो. In this verse, Krishna is glorifying his devotion. He's glorifying his own devotion. And that quality is, he's glorifying his devotion. No, this is my devotion, is the king of all knowledge, secrets of all secrets. It is pure. So he's glorifying. And that quality is revealing that God likes to glorify his devotees and devotion. His quality of surrender, of his surrender to devotees and devotion. His quality of being controlled by devotion. You glorify him, no? He's a controller, but he wants to be controlled. That quality is revealing. That's a beautiful quality, no? So that's one thing you can do. And then third verse, he's talking, okay, in spite of understanding everything, devotion is so nice, still people don't come to me. Okay, why? Why people don't come to him? So Krishna says in third verse, Ashradhana Purusha, you can repeat after me, Ashradhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantapa Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu samsara vartmani. So Krishna says, why people do not come to me? Because of ashraddhadhana, faithlessness. And if you want to know anything about faith, this is the purport. Prabhupada speaks everything about faith here. Now, so Prabhupada's books are absolutely perfect and very systematic. You see how things are going? And Prabhupada then is commenting. So Prabhupada, now the interesting thing about this verse is, Krishna says, ashraddhadhana purusha dharmasya parantapa. People who don't have faith in what I have said, dharmasya, in this dharma, in the dharma of bhakti, don't have faith, aprape mam nivartante, they will not achieve, aprape means they will not achieve me, nivartante means they will come back, where mrityu samsara vartmani. Now question is, for whom Krishna is talking this verse? For non-devotees, for devotees, for whom? For both of them. Krishna says, who do not have faith in this bhakti, in what I have told, they'll come back. So non-devotees don't have faith. And also devotees who practice but who don't have faith. And Prabhupada, in fact, in the purport speaks about that. Development of faith in process of Krishna consciousness is defined here. No, actually you don't have to show the purport, forget it. So development of the faith is in the purport. Prabhupada immediately says neophyte, kanisht, madhyam and uttam. Immediately comes.
That's also one of the places where I think Prabhupada has something like, most of my devotees will go to heaven because they have everything but they don't have faith. But then
so
the samsara.
yeah, Prabhupada is talking about all these things, in this purport. You can see this purport, this very beautiful purport. And Krishna says, faith is everything. Faith. And Prabhupada says here, it's not necessary, we might be in the process, but you might not be also. That's the point. You might not attain perfection.
One quick question, like someone, if he doesn't have faith, why he would be doing devotion?
His faith is weak. We don't say, faith is weak. Weak.
So he's like just starting, his faith is just starting to develop.
So ashraddhadhana means, Prabhupada says, now ashraddhana word is no faith. But then Prabhupada gives a commentary, no faith also means no true faith. He might be having a shadow of faith, but not the substance of faith. That is also called no faith. So weak faith is also called no faith, no? Weak faith. Yeah, Rupa Goswami says that. So that's why Prabhupada says. So Prabhupada says, so many people come to this movement, they might come with some desires. They don't have faith in Krishna, love, but they come for money or they come for whatever reasons. And so many people might have weak faith, and weak faith means sooner or later it will end into no faith. It will get destroyed. So it's no faith. Slowly it will be destroyed. If it's weak, if it is not strong, illusion will finish it. So it's as good as no faith. It is leading there, no? And that's what Prabhupada explains there. So the Prabhupada says here, being Kanishta Adhikari is very risky. Prabhupada says it's very dangerous. So Krishna is talking about new devotees whose faith is actually, externally it looks faith, but inside it is hollow. It's like hollow inside, no? So Prabhupada says devotees should come on Madhyam Adhikari level. So Madhyam Adhikari means people who have scriptural understanding, but not to the extent that they can even preach to atheists and convert people, that they might not be able to do, but they have scriptural understanding and their faith is solid. It's not hollow from inside. Otherwise there are always chances of falling down. We'll fall down. So by understanding scriptures and reading the scriptures, we develop faith. Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudhira Nishchay. then we have faith. Okay, all doubts are solved. What do you want to say?
There are two verses or two incidences where this thing actually gets exactly opposite and reversed. Where we say when people are coming with some kind of some of their desires. So first of all, Dhruv Maharaj also came with an artha kind of desire, and then Krishna himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita that 4 kind of people anyways come to me.
Yeah.
So
okay. Krishna says, if you continue like this, you will not achieve me. Yeah. That's the idea. Okay. Well, if you're lucky to get over this, then okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Again, I have same kind of confusion that why is that some people will have strong faith and some will have weak?
Association. There is no other answer. If you ask me 1,000 times, I'll repeat association. I'm going to change my answer. There is no other thing which can increase our faith. Nothing except association.
So it might be that association from the previous lives might be still active.
Yeah.
Even though one may see that in this life I never had an
association of previous lives.
That is very wonderful answer. Yeah.
It's all association. Nothing is happening without association. That is why it's important to take association as much as possible. But then you have to decide what kind of association you need. So then you have to see who is Kanishth, who is Madhyam, who is Uttam, and have discrimination and association and advance properly. Otherwise, it's very difficult to advance. Oh, I finished my lecture? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's just a continuation to the topic. What to be done when you do not get that quality association and you yourself are surrounded by the people who are at Kanishth Adhikari level?
Well, Prabhupada says in that case, read my books. Yeah. Prabhupada said in one devotee that my books are also association. But if you have devotees live, that makes a lot of difference. One devotee asked Prabhupada, so can't we just read your books? Like your books are perfect and complete. Then Prabhupada, you know what he did? He went and he caught the ear. He said, books cannot do this. Books cannot twist ear. So just books can't really do that. Live association is also important because live devotees who speak, they help you to look through the books. What is Prabhupada actually saying? And help you to go in the depth. So if you go to a lake, you can see a big lake. But a diver knows how much deep it is, no? You can see the lake and you can appreciate it, but you can't see the depth. So by our reading, we can see the width, but not the depth. Only diver understands the depth. And that is advanced devotees. They've dived into this. And when they come up with jewels. And they say, okay, yeah, this is there here, and this, you were thinking it's a dirty lake, but there are jewels inside this. So that's the idea. So their association, that's the point of association. So Krishna says, Ashadhana Purusha Dharma Sasya Parantapa, have faith, develop your faith. Everything is faith. But faith doesn't mean blind faith. Develop your faith by taking knowledge, by taking association of wise people, by assimilating this knowledge, by practicing it, by chanting holy names. Everything we are doing is to develop faith. If you are doing everything and your faith is not increasing, it's waste. It's waste in the sense you don't achieve your goal. And that is called ritual. Ritual is practicing some kind of actions without actually understanding, without actually even giving attention to that what it is doing, whether it's increasing my faith or not increasing my faith. And you keep on, like Diwali. Okay, put Ganesh, Lakshmi and do something and ho gaya. But it's helping you nothing. So that is a ritual. Ritual is doing something without understanding what it is doing. Mechanical actions. Devotion might look like a ritual, but it's not like that. So if we don't focus what's happening to my faith every day? It's increasing, decreasing, it is harming, it is getting destroyed. Then your bhakti also becomes ritual. So chanting becomes ritual. 16 rounds, okay, finished. So don't make it as a ritual. That's just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order and teaching. Follow with understanding why you're following it. And with a result, positive result. Prabhupada always said, no, give me result. He said, give me result. So you should have a result, no? So Krishna told Indra. Krishna told all Brajvasis, you're worshipping Indra. Well, what do you get? You worship Govardhan, you at least get water, flowers, fruits. But by you're doing yagya, but what you're getting? You don't get immediate rains. There's no result, no? You can't see anything, it's blind. And that is why fire sacrifices are and we don't do in Kali Yuga. No? We don't have to do all these rituals in Kali Yuga because they are not powerful people to bring the result, to show the result. Krishna was very practical. He is very practical and he says, be practical. If you're following something, you don't increase your faith, it's absolutely useless. Why you're doing that? So that has to be really understood and kept in mind. And that kind of principle, that Krishna is introducing in this verse. So that quality of Krishna, here Krishna is revealing his quality, the quality of being practical. God is also practical. He plans, he makes strategies to help us. And he sends his devotees to help us, to explain us, to help us relieve of our doubts. And he does something which is very practical. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did something which is very practical. Prabhupada says, I have given you a practical program. He uses this word. A practical program. Mahaprabhu came and he said, okay, dance and chant. No? He knew people of this age, they are completely crazy. They want to dance and chant. Okay, if you want to dance and chant names of God and dance, no problem. If you want to have a party, okay, have a party, but chant names of God. And Prabhupada says, I introduced book distribution in America. Prabhupada says, that's a practical program. You get also finance by book distribution and you can also sustain your life. Prabhupada said that. And then Govinda's restaurant, Prabhupada says, that's another practical program. I've introduced, people can get prasad, no? So Prabhupada was very intelligent. Why? Because he was connected to Krishna. And Krishna is very intelligent. He's advising us, if you follow Krishna consciousness and if your faith is not increasing, then there's always chancing of falling down. But the question is, what do you mean by increasing of faith? How do we know my faith is increasing or my faith is decreasing? How do you know that? And time is over. That's all. What you can have? I don't know what about the management here. What's happening? Okay, till what time?
Till 7:50 is Bharati and then Narsima, so you can continue max tomorrow.
Okay, and then they can do. Okay, fine. Then we can continue. Okay. Is it okay? Everybody wants to continue? How many want to continue? Okay, good. So it's a majority. And demigods also there who are listening on the... So they also probably they want to continue. I call them demigods who are on net. Anyway. Okay. So what do you mean? How do you know your faith is increasing or decreasing? That's a big question, no? We have to know what's happening inside us. We can't just keep on going. That's absurd. And that is science of devotion. That is science. That is by in Nectar of Devotion, all systematic steps are there, Everything. This faith matures into interest, ruchi, that develops into attachment, that develops into emotions develop into love. So, now Krishna answers, what do you mean by increase of faith? In next two verses, 4th and 5th. So this chapter is talking about faith, basically. This chapter is talking, if you read this chapter nicely, it is taking you from faith to love. And then I will show you how it is taking. So there are certain steps of development. So, okay, first, what do you mean your faith is increasing or not. So what do you say? How do I know my faith is increasing or not? How do I know that? How do I know? Like, if I'm chanting more, then maybe my faith is increasing. If I'm eating more prasad, maybe my faith is increasing. Who knows? So, if I'm hearing to lecture, maybe my faith. If I'm sleeping more, maybe my faith is increasing. So, what are the symptoms of increase in faith?
Peace of mind.
Huh?
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Yes, if your faith is increasing in Krishna, you will have peace of mind and satisfaction. But that's a side effect. That's not the main symptom. There's a difference between side effect and main symptom. No? There's side effect. So,
your taste in this material world will reduce.
Okay, this is important. Your taste in this material world will reduce. That's very important point.
Anartha nivruti.
And that's, yeah. And Krishna says here in these 2 verses, if your faith is increasing in me, what's going to happen? 9.4. Can you just do that? So if your faith is increasing in me, what is going to happen is, can you please show the translation? So what's going to happen is, Krishna says, by me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. If your faith is increasing, you will be able to understand this. Can anybody understand this? If you can't understand this, your faith is not increasing. So that's why Krishna gives this puzzle here. That's like Guru, no? Okay, he teaches you something and then he gives you one riddle. Okay, solve this. If you can solve this, then you understand my teachings. Otherwise, again, you have to attend the class. Is it? So,
This is like it's like the sky, which is still looks like in the earth, but it is.
That's example given afterwards, yeah. But what does it mean? If your faith is increasing, you'll be able to understand what does that mean immediately. Now, what does that mean? Krishna says, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. That means, if your faith is increasing, you'll be able to see Krishna everywhere. Just like, I'll give you an example. Just like Romeo and Juliet. You know Romeo and Juliet? Aware? So, if a boy falls in love with a girl, he'll see that girl everywhere. Is it? Everywhere he'll see that, start seeing that girl. In mirror, in his bed, in his pillows. In everything. Everything will make him remember about that girl, no? Is it? So, that's the idea, unmanifested form. So you'll be able to perceive God everywhere, all around you. Everything will stimulate his remembrance. That's the idea. Now everything is making you forget him. No? Go out, see an advertisement of something and you forget Krishna. You see beautiful hills and you forget him. So everything makes you forget. When your faith increases, this nature will start supporting you, not blocking you. Because you're on the journey. You're going near God. And when you go near God, everything starts helping you. Everything starts supporting you. So, if your faith is increasing, you will see Krishna in sun, in moon, in air, in fire. Like I was telling in morning, the freshness of air is Krishna. When you breathe, you will be able to remember him. Okay, this freshness, why this air is so fresh in the morning? Why not in the evening? Because Krishna has put his freshness into morning. He has given a fraction of freshness to the morning. Okay, you take as a gift. And then you can feel, okay, remember. And then when you see sun is eyes of Krishna, no? Is it? Sun and the moon. So you remember him and then you can see, and then you can remember the eyes of God. Why sun and the moon are eyes of Krishna? Why it's like that? Is it just a mental speculation? There's a reason for that. And that's how you will start perceiving. Faith is dependent on knowledge. That's the idea. If your faith is increasing, that means you are having knowledge of scriptures. That means you are in knowledge how to see God everywhere. It's not speculation. So when you will see sun, you will remember Krishna. Why? Why sun is called eyes of God? Because by eyes what we do? We see. So sun is eyes of God because sun is the bodily effulgence of God. Yeah, in sun planet there is Krishna and the sunlight is coming. It's not nuclear fusion that we think, scientists. But it is basically, Krishna is there inside the sun, God, a form of God, and that's effulgence of his body. And that without sun we cannot see. First he sees and then we see. If your eyes is right, if everything is correct, if all connections are correct, even if there's no light, you'll not be able to see, So first you need light, and then everything you can see. Is it? You need sun to see. Without sun, you don't see. You can say, okay, I have bulb and I can see. Anyway, this light is also a fraction of sunlight. If there's no sunlight, then you don't have bulb also, no invention. So that's the idea. So sun helps you to see. That means Krishna is helping you to see. That means first Krishna is seeing and then you are seeing. And that's why sun is called the eyes of Krishna. So beautiful eyes of God. And then mountains are the bones of Krishna, God. Krishna gave a fraction, bones are strong, no? Krishna gave a fraction of his strength to mountains, okay. Himalayas, like that. Rivers are his veins. The blood. So Krishna gave a fraction of the fluidity of his blood to the rivers. Okay. So, like that. So that is why Krishna says, in manifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. But if your faith increases, you will start remembering God everywhere through knowledge. That's a test of faith. So test of faith is you go out and then you think how much you can remember Krishna by seeing this universe. And Prabhupada said it's very difficult to forget him, not just to remember him. Yeah.
Prabhupada in a plane, I think he sees Charlie Chaplin movie or something.
Yeah, Prabhupada saw
humor,
that.
He actually laughed.
Yeah, actually, Prabhupada in plane, he saw Charlie Chaplin movie and he was enjoying that. He was laughing. So one of the devotees, his servant, he was sitting and he was seeing down, my God, what's happening? This is television, cartoon. And then Prabhupada said afterwards that I could see that Charlie Chaplin is actually, Krishna gave a fraction of his humor to him as a gift. And that's why he can be a comedian and he's doing humor. So Prabhupada says his humor is original because he's giving gift by Krishna. So like that, Krishna, and when devotee sees illusion, he can see Krishna there also. Balam balvatam aham. I am the strength of strong. And what is most strong in this material world? Illusion, Maya. And as soon as he sees illusion, he can see Krishna. And so that's the idea there. Entire universe is pervaded by me. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. He can see all beings are in Krishna. That means all beings are controlled by him. But I am not in them. That means he is not controlled by anybody. So he can perfectly understand. Every person, all of you are under control of God. You may not accept, that's your problem. You may not be able to realize it, that's your problem. Why it's like that? It is like, just like children. If you ask children, so are you under control of your parents? They will say no. Is it? But they are under control. That's all. They are under control, but they don't like to accept this. But they are fully dependent on him. All beings are in me. Everybody is dependent on God. But I am not in them. He is not dependent on anybody. So controller, controlled. Independent, dependent. That things. And that you can easily understand. That realization will come. everything, whatever devotee, when he advances in faith, he will realize everything what is happening in my life, it is under control of Krishna. And that is why he never gets depressed. No. Whatever is happening in your life, if it is plan of God, why do you want to become depressed? That's all. Whatever happens, he is happy. No problem. But Krishna doesn't take account of your foolishness. That has to be kept in mind. Okay, you're driving and you drive at 300 miles per hour, and whatever is happening, Krishna is doing, then you're gone. He doesn't account for your foolishness. That's the idea. So, otherwise, if you're following instructions of Krishna, then we are convinced. But at the same time, that's okay. That's fine. Hare Krishna. So, whatever is happening in this material world, it's all under control of God. Everything is under control of God. Everything. Major, minor, nothing happens without the plan of God. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Just one thing happens without His plan. What happens? Our mischievousness, no? We do mischiefs. So parents do everything for child, but mischiefs they plan themselves, no? So we also are mischievous people. And we want to exploit others, destroy this planet. That's mischief of man. Otherwise, everything is under control of him. Even this is also under control of him. If Krishna wants, he can stop that mischief. Okay, but he doesn't. Okay, continue. Do mistakes and see for yourself. No problem. So that is his verse. And then next verse Krishna says, yeah. Oh, you have a call? Okay.
So, Prabhu, a couple of days back, one of my friend asked me this question, but I was unable to answer, so I am asking you.
Okay.
You just shared the statement, nothing happens without the will of God. So the question from his was that even terror attacks cannot happen without the will of God.
What attacks?
Terror attacks.
Terrorist?
So I was just thinking, like, how come God allows that kind of attacks to happen?
Yeah, terrorist attack, that is also by sanction of Krishna. But that's, you know what? We are very small, we can't understand what he's planning. Sometimes he gives strength to terrorists to give punishment to sinful people. Like police. So police is beating, robbers. And they beat and beat and beat. And some person comes who is very compassionate. So my God, they are beating him to death. And my heart is melting, stop it. Police will say, come on, get lost. They are prisoners. No? And that power is given by a king. So similarly, Krishna uses people to actually give reactions. So like suppose if you have two bad people, you can do one thing. You can either shoot him and shoot him. Two bad people, no? You can kill him and kill him. But the best way is you make them fight together and they'll kill themselves. That's the best thing. You don't have to do anything. Finish. So that's what Krishna does. They are bad, okay, fine. Kill each other and problem is solved. So his planning is very ingenious. He does many actions through one thing. But at the same time, it also, then it gives a message to also others, no? That okay, if you're bad, you will suffer these consequences. Those who live by sword shall die by sword. It is said in Bible. So okay, people then can understand. So that way, everything is under his control. Sometimes he allows darkness to increase. He allows darkness to increase, to let people know this is darkness. If you're in darkness, you'll suffer. Sometimes he allows light to increase, to give a understanding this is light and purity. That's his plans.
Thanks, Prabhu. That answers the question.
Yeah.
Nice.
But let me complete it. Although he gives strength to bad people to do things, he's not accountable for that. Because they want to do it. They want to do bad things. So Krishna says, okay, fine. Try to do it and see for yourself. I'm not accountable, just like children. So children will ask mother, give me chocolate. Mother says, okay, eat it. And then he eats, and then his teeth goes bad. And then mother says, I told you. Then, but you didn't agree, then I gave you chocolate. Then child will say, Mama, you gave me chocolate, It's your responsibility. It's not my responsibility. You desired it, and I help you to fulfill your desire to see for yourself.
That means terrorists are not creating bad karma because they are doing it at the will of God, right? Or how is it?
No.
Because Krishna is allowing them to do it.
There is something called primary cause and secondary cause. So like for example, there's an example. Suppose there's a stone. You're driving in a car and there's a stone there. And you stop it. It's a big stone and you want to push it outside. And you can't. Then one strong person comes. He helps you. And he pushes the stone aside, is it? And you go forward. Okay. So he just helped you. Your desire was yours to push that stone. Is it? He just helped you. If suppose he is pushing the stone and the person who helps, he helps him to push the stone goes besides, and then he goes forward and he hits some person by the car. And then he will say, then some police catches him, and then he says, no, you should not catch me, you should catch that person because he actually removed the stone. And then I went ahead and there was an accident. No? You wanted to push that stone, he just helped you, that's all. So that's God. He just fulfills our desires. If you want to increase darkness, he will say, okay, I'll help you to increase darkness. And you look for yourself. Until unless we don't look for ourselves, we don't experience the reactions of actions, we will not understand. We are like that. So that's the idea. He's not accountable. He allows that, but he's not accountable. So that way, but you have to explain them properly. This is a tough question, but you have to explain them properly. Okay, so, and the next verse, can you do that, next verse? And then there I'll stop and then I'll ask questions then. So, this is how we know our faith is increasing. A devotee understands everything is under control of God. My life is under control of Him. Whatever is happening in my life is under control of God. At least for devotees, it is everything Krishna's, no? So sometimes sometimes devotees suffer, they understand, okay, no problem, this is plan of God. Krishna is giving me sufferings to give me a message. To give me some message. And I should try to understand the message behind the suffering and not be bewildered by this suffering. This is how devotee functions. For a non-devotee, some suffering comes and they're bewildered. My God, what's happening, in my life? Why this is happening, this, that. But because they don't have knowledge. There's an invisible hand of God everywhere, no? In fact, everything. You're under complete control of Krishna. Except small free will. Small free will is there. Otherwise, you're under complete control of Krishna. Suppose, now you had a free will to come to hear this lecture, not come. Is it? Now you used your free will to come here. Now you have come here, okay? But he slept. This boy. So you are under complete control of Krishna. You can decide to come here. But if Krishna doesn't want you to hear this lecture, okay, sleep, my boy. You'll have uncontrolled sleep. You will see me as double, what's happening. So he is fully under control. If he doesn't want you to understand this lecture because of your own sins, you might have done so nonsense activities, he thinks, okay, fine, time has not come for you to understand everything. Doesn't want. He will just switch off. That control is he'll switch off. And your mind will start thinking, what is my office? What is there? Your mind will not get fixed here. So so both things go together, our will and mercy. Our will and His control. Both things go together. We might desire something, but if He doesn't want, that will not happen. And when we desire and if He wants, then things happen. And what He wants, that's very difficult to understand. Nobody can understand what He wants. So sometimes sometimes when we are doing devotion, he might take away taste. We are doing devotion, we feel so bliss, suddenly we feel, oh, there's no bliss. So he might take it back so that we understand the value of bliss. And then we want that more. Okay, Krishna, now I should work hard. His ways are not understood. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita says, God's ways are like snake. Snake goes like this. You can't understand how it is going, no? Sometimes here, sometimes there. It doesn't go straight. Yeah, unpredictable. It doesn't go straight. It is like this. So his ways are like snake. You can't understand what's happening. Nobody can understand his plans. Nobody. And there's a name of Vishnu in Vishnu Sahasranam. There's a name of Vishnu. Om Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkara. You know Vishnu Sahasranam there? So one of the name of Vishnu there is Gambhir. And Rupa Goswami also says, Prabhupada says, he's grave. Grave means his actions, his thoughts, nobody can understand what he's doing and why he's doing. Simply, we can at least try to see his control everywhere. At least we should come to this realization, he's under control. Is it? So we are sleeping. Who is making you sleep? Krishna. Sleeping is involuntary, no? Who is waking you up? Krishna. You don't wake yourself. He's under control, no? Who is making you understand this lecture? Krishna. He's there, but he's there inside you also. Because you cannot hear anything if he doesn't hear. That is Upanishads. First, whatever you hear, that information will go to God, super soul in your heart. And then it will come to you. Because there's a big problem in science, dualistic philosophy. How does mind interact with brain? Nobody understands in science. Dualism. But then there was a philosopher, Foucaultism. He said, information from brain goes to mind through super soul. Because nobody can figure out in science till yet, how does a bunch of chemicals produce feelings? Brain is chemicals, no? Neurotransmitter, neurons, what is that? Carbon, that's all, no? Nitrogen, oxygen. How can dead molecules, atoms produce feelings? How can it produce awareness? That's a big problem in science. And that is a work of super soul. As soon as you see something, first this information goes to super soul. He sees and then you are able to see. That's all, just leave it, that's fine. Just leave it. So he sees and then you are able to see it. When you hear first, he hears and then you are able to hear. Because that experience of hearing, experience of seeing, that brain cannot produce. Because brain is dead. Dead things do not experience, is it? You understand? Does this table have experience? Does your computer have experience? You can put an audio jack, you can put a camera, data can go, it can record, but it cannot experience those data. We can experience. Who helps to experience all this data? Super soul. Brain cannot do. Brain is a logical, algorithmic machine. A carbon-based, that's silicon-based, that's Silicon Valley. This is Carbon Valley. But that's all the difference. So that is why Krishna says there, who can see me everywhere, at every moment. That is why pure devotee, whatever he hears, whatever he sees, whatever he feels, he can always, we are feeling, no? We are feeling inside something, no? Always you can remember God. That is why Prabhupada said it is very difficult to forget Krishna. You say it's difficult, very difficult to forget him. That is faith. If your this realization is increasing, then it means your faith is increasing. Otherwise, your faith is same place. Now, if you measure by this, so it's a different game altogether, no? It's a different game. We can't measure, okay, I'm having bliss, so my faith is increasing. Maybe, maybe not. So you don't know what's happening around. But this is the real thing. And if you can see Krishna everywhere, then you don't see illusion anywhere. You become detached from everything. That's detachment from that. And then Krishna says 9 point. Can you say the meaning and I'll finish here? If your faith is increasing, the meaning of this. Krishna says, and yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. Self is the very source of creation. Although Krishna is helping us every moment, every second he is interacting with us. As an invisible hand, he is everywhere in a control. Still he is aloof from this. That is God. He does everything simply by his will. He wills and creation takes place. He wills, everything gets destroyed. And that is Krishna. So this, when your faith increases, you start understanding Krishna. So first is power, this is sweetness. Prabhupada says that although I am doing everything, still I am aloof in my spiritual world. Prabhupada begins the purport. The Lord says everything is resting on him. This is not to be misunderstood. Lord is not directly concerned with maintenance and sustenance of material manifestation. He is in spiritual world. In spiritual world, he has so many things to do. So this is power, that is power, this is sweetness. I am doing everything, still I am not so interested in doing this. I am doing to give them mercy, to give us mercy, but I am interested with my devotees. I am enjoying with my devotees in my spiritual world. And that is, if your faith is increasing, you can realize his power, you can realize his sweetness. Both of them. That's what I began the lecture there. Most confidential knowledge, power and sweetness. And that is faith. So Krishna will talk more about faith. I'll develop this. I don't know maybe when, but now you can read 9th chapter. Please read 9th chapter as a commentary on faith. That's this chapter all about. From faith to love. That's what Krishna is talking. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Is there any questions? And I'm done here. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Why Bhagavad Gita as it is? Because it helps you to understand reality as it is. That's all. Especially Prabhupada purpose.
There's a comment from an online viewer, Mataji, that says that her realization is that sign that faith is increasing is that you start depending on Krishna more and you don't try to take control in all situations, but you introspect.
Okay, yeah, this is also good. You depend on Krishna more, yeah. You start introspecting. That's good. This is more precise. If we go precise, how do you depend on him? This I was explaining. On seeing, hearing, talking, we depend on him. How? Because first information is going to him, then it's coming to us. Yeah, okay. Good comment. Okay, any questions? I've stopped here now.
Regarding the Dattatreya Muni philosophy you were discussing. So,
yeah.
actually, if you see, some of our acharyas commented that Dattatreya Muni actually he preached impersonalism because usually the knowledge should come through.
So Prabhupada, you can find diamonds in coal mine. So there are some good things there also that we should take. The scum or the filth, you leave it. That's all. The principle to learn from this material creation, that the philosophy developed on that principle, that's wrong, but the principle is correct. In that sense, no? So no problems. We can understand that. Yeah, something. So that's one thing. Yeah. If when Prabhupada said, one in New York he was there, and one girl, it was winter, snowing. One girl was standing in America, you see, like I was in Denver, so all these youths, it was very cold, very chilly. And some girls, they were wearing mini skirts. Absolutely no clothes, like practically it was just like no cloth. It was very cold. And that girl was standing like that. So one devotee, he said, he was seeing that girl and he said, it's like, she's so stupid, like it's just cold and she's like, she wants to expose her body and she'll get sick. So Prabhupada said, yeah, she might be stupid, but she's teaching us how to be determined to do devotion to Krishna. Just like she's so determined to expose her body in spite of taking risk or coal, we should be so determined to serve. So he took diamond from coal. And that's what we do.
Actually, yeah, that is correct, Prabhu. But when we want to imply or apply that thing, it can go to mental speculation level. Like, we are taking something which may not be.
But then they check and balance from scriptures. No, it's always. You can always learn from everything. You can learn from illusion. You can learn from everything. You can learn from even the worst person in this material world. If you want to learn. If you don't want to learn, even the best person will not be able to teach us. Will not be able to learn. But a guide, yes. We need a proper direction, otherwise we'll start getting wrong conclusions. That's the idea. That is why scriptures are there, where you learn, check and balance, and then go ahead. No problem. That's all.
Thank you, Prabhu. It was very enlightening lecture all throughout. I actually, even in the kitchen, enjoying every bit of your words you are speaking here.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very well.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Time is over? Yeah.
Now we have to do Damodar Ashtaka.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you very much. And devotees, if you, these are